under your hat. The ride has only just begun.
This could be an epic game.
An absolute belter! The FA Cup story of shots. Oh, what a moment!
Italy are the champions of Europe. We could have one heck of a title race.
Welcome to Football Focus on what is an historic day for women's football. The WSL season is off and running, and we are live here from Goodison Park, where for the first time a women's league match will be live on BBC One. Here's what we've got coming up. We have all the action from last night as the season kicked off with Manchester United against Reading. We get the lowdown from Everton on the grand old team to support. Top bins from Alex Greenwood, the Manchester City defender, gives us her top tips. And we find out why this ground has a special place in the history of the women's game. And this is how the opening weekend of the WSL shapes up. One game last night, we will be bringing you those goals in just a moment. The Everton's game against Manchester City kicks off here in just under 90 minutes. And here's one for you. In the 10 previous seasons of the WSL, no side has ever won 3 consecutive titles. Can Chelsea change that? The champions get their defence of the title underway with a peach of a London derby against Arsenal tomorrow. And I'm delighted to be joined right now by Rachel Brown-Finnis. The sunshine has finally come out for the opening weekend of the WSL. Brownie, I've already gone in there with your nickname, but it doesn't matter. Look, there's such a buzz around the opening weekend so far, and how great is it that Everton opened their campaign right here at Goodison Park?
Well, there's so many elements of history that are made about this opening weekend. The broadcast deals that have been done, everyone knows about the calibre of players on the pitch. But a first league game for Everton here at Goodison makes me feel proud. 11 years as a Blue, as a Toffee. To see the girls out here in the sunshine with fans coming to the ground, it's going to be a fantastic day.
How will the players be feeling?
I think a mixture of, nerves. They've been through a pre-season where they've, they've a number, I think 9 players who they've signed this year. Yeah, he has
great save there,
action,
Rachel.
yeah.
Great save.
We won the FA Cup with Everton. That was still the last piece of silverware for the FA Cup. And what Willie Kirk wants to do is to bring back the heyday of that era. He wants to be a winner. He's already projected what he wants to do, break into that top 3.
OK, well, we will be talking a bit more about Everton in just a moment. But the action did get underway last night as Manchester United took on Reading. Commentary comes from Mark Scott.
Manchester United were unbeaten through their first 10 WSL matches last season. Staniforth dropping deep and then sending a ball into a promising area, which has caused some problems. And Leah Carlton can't take the chance. Clearest opportunity we've had by a long chalk, and Grace Maloney is the most relieved person in the building. There is Kelly Chambers leading Reading into their 6th successive year at the highest level of the women's game. She previously played for the club as well. That's a good pass. Hansen! The first goal of the new Women's Super League season is scored by Kirsty Hansen. Lovely weight of pass here. Hansen showed her exactly where she wanted it. It's a wonderful goal. It's a magnificent finish with the outside of the boot. Manchester United 1, Reading 0. Reading finished last season in 7th after a bit of a rotten run of form at the back end of the campaign. They won just 1 of their last 8 fixtures in the league. They're asking for a penalty in there. Don't get that. Do get a chance to have a go at goal. It's off the bar. Well, it was all happening there. Brooke Chaplin hit this ever so well. Thought that she was slightly out with her placement. That would suggest that she was spot on, but hasn't got her just reward. Well, a let-off for Manchester United then. Galton after this. Balia. Nicely done by Toon. And then the hit is in magnificently! Ola Balia with a beauty to double Manchester United's lead. It's her first goal for the club, and what a way to score it. Lovely give and go between Toon and then Balia. And this strike from the Spaniard was a screamer. A new era for Manchester United begins with 3 points on the board.
It was a great start for Manchester United last night, Rachel. And actually, it was interesting to see because there's been a lot of talk, obviously, Casey moving on and what she's built there, players moving on as well. USA players going back home, Tobin Heath now moving to Arsenal. It was interesting to see how they set up yesterday.
Yeah, there's a lot of negatives surrounding Manchester United with regards to Casey Stoney leaving. I think wanted to leave before the end of the season, wasn't happy with the training facilities that the girls were having to use. As you said, Tobin Heath, Kristen Press going back to the US, but then Tobin Heath moving to Arsenal. A bit of a kick in the teeth. But what we wanted to see was the showcase product that we saw last night. Clinical, crisp, fantastic technical goal from Kirsty Hansen in the first half. Ella Toon at her best, Team GB and England midfielder.
A real star performance from her.
Young dynamic players like Ella Toon are the jewels of England. Last season she was their most influential player, most assists, most goals for them, and she's continued in the same stride this year.
And she has, and what we love about being on the road and being live is right now you can see behind us the Manchester City players taking in the pitch, what it's going to be like. Rachel, you always used to come out. I used to stay in the changing room, but you always used to come out and have a walk around, didn't you?
Yeah, it was part of my kind of preparation, really, the psyche. From a goalkeeper, we're very different to you outfielders, you see. We had to go through a lot of visualisation. It's all very technical. I won't go into it. But yeah,
I want to know. What did you do? What did you do?
Okay, so I visualised a cross, collecting it technically perfectly. One that I'd done against Germany. Went over and over, just meant that I thought going out there that I was going to do that every single time. Didn't always work, to be honest, let's be honest. But a few little technical things like that that really worked and just help reassure yourself. And especially in big moments, in big grounds like this, the psych can come into it.
I have a quick one on Reading from last night because they will need some reassurance. It's only obviously the start, but a long way to go.
Yeah, it is, and I think they're unlucky. Should have been a goal. Brooke Chaplin's shot, I think, definitely bounced over the line, so 1-1 could have been a different game. They've had some changes. Farrah Williams has retired from them, big name, big personality on the pitch, had her injury problems last year, but they looked good. Harris, I thought, was very impressive, young player who's come in, and Kelly Chambers, she's gone through a transition this last couple of years, but moving forwards, they look tough to beat.
Okay, well, if you are new to women's football and the WSL, here's one for you. Welcome. But if you're welcoming you right back, like me and Brownie, sometimes you just need a recap. So here at Football Focus, we've done this for you to let you know on who to look out and who's the teams that are going to be on song.
Hi, wear loose articles and this is Kick Like a Girl.
Chelsea are champions again.
And Chelsea women have confirmed the signing of forward Lauren James.
Watching live to BBC Talk Sports. Now I need to keep the half-time commentary short, but I do have a special announcement aimed at you narrow-minded men, and it might come as a surprise. Trying to say this lie that women can play sports, we can kick a ball with some force, no stopping, we are insults. When we play, we get good results with forces to be reckoned with. Girls can play, it's just a myth. We can pass the ball in the back of the net. Stop it with this mindset. Girls and kids can do the same. Now let's get back to
Paris left Lyon for Arsenal.
A big thank you to Manchester band Loose Articles. I think we are all rocking and rolling along with that one. But Rachel, when you look at the season, to you, who looks strong and who might kind of struggle?
It's hard to look past Chelsea. As strong as they were, the squad that they've got, they've added 2 key players to that, a defender, Anik Nguyen, and Lauren James, young player, Reece James's sister in the 9 position. They're stronger than ever, and they'll be looking to rectify what they missed out on last season, which is winning the Champions League. They won the league, but Emma Hayes will want to do that. So Chelsea, I think, is number 1. Fight for top 3 places. I think it'll be Chelsea, Man City, Arsenal. Oh, there you go. I've said it. And teams to struggle, we always put Birmingham in there. And they last season got out of it in ridiculous circumstances.
You said you were interested in watching West Ham this season.
Yes, absolutely. They made, I think it's 10 new signings. It's Ollie Harder's first window to bring in players, so they need. There was a lot of promises with West Ham with the input and the infrastructure that was put in place, and there's been too many changes. So I'd like to see them settle down and starting to play that dynamic football we were promised.
Okay, well, Rachel, you didn't mention your old team, but we are about to right now as the current players talk us through life at Everton.
We've made 9 signings this summer. We've got so much support now from the board. I think Willie's done an excellent job. He did have a picture with him, he was standing in the middle and there's all the players, and I was like, that's like a brand new squad.
I was joking around saying that I wonder if the printer's got enough ink to print out all the contracts. Tony goes without saying, she's Scouse born and bred, has a huge CV, which includes Everton in the earlier stages of her career, and she's an unbelievable player. The 3 Swedish girls, well, I call them the Swedish House Mafia. Obviously, all 3 of them boast huge Olympic experience in the summer, a silver medal, and so, no, I mean, we've recruited incredibly well. Some really sort of high quality players that have come in and they've just settled in really, really quickly, and they've really provided a boost to our team, and they're going to be a real asset for us moving forward. We're unbeaten in pre-season. We've shown over the last 5 games during pre-season that we've got immense flexibility in the squad, immense depth.
We've brought in players who can play in multiple roles. I think the change in formation that we can potentially do throughout games is going to be so important and so crucial. So yeah, we're really diverse, really dynamic. Hopefully we can play an entertaining style this season, and yeah, plenty of goals. When I was growing up as a little girl, there was never any women's football to be seen. So for us now to be able to switch on the TV and on BBC and on Sky, to see women and playing sport at such a high level is just incredible. Well overdue, but it's good now that we can be at the forefront of it now.
There's going to be an increased level of scrutiny, there's going to be increased level of praise. I genuinely think it will increase the level of the game. I think there's so much increased professionalism in the game that's happened over the last 3 or 4 years in terms of training grounds and facilities and coaching and staff. But this TV deal and the increased broadcasting is just going to take the game up to another level. And like I said, we at Everton can't wait for it. Last season we finished 5th. We had kind of high targets to secure a Champions League spot, but we fell short. But we've really regrouped over the summer. We've learned a lot about ourselves and our team and our direction moving forwards, and we'll be much more prepared for this season than we were last.
Everybody's mood's so high. I think it's just the excitement. Obviously the first game of the season is always one that you want to get off to a great start. Everybody's focused, everybody's just ready to go.
To begin the season here at Goodison Park on the club's home turf with fans back in the stadium against the top team, it's going to be really exciting, and we're really excited to see where we can go as a team.
It really is exciting to see where they are going to go as a team. And Rachel, you've been a part, you've got so much history with this club. And I suppose people tuning in right now, seeing playing live at Goodison, but it wasn't always like this.
No, I mean, I finished 5.5 years ago, and the number of people I've seen in the ground, because I used to have to work here as well. I worked for Everton in the community alongside playing. That was the reality of it. It was a semi-professional stroke amateur with regards to finances. We couldn't house players who from abroad because we had no facilities and we didn't have the financial resources to be able to do that. I'm glad to say that's in the past. Where we are now as a club is phenomenal. There's been huge changes in resources. Willie Kirk coming in, I think, was the real driving force and impetus to that, to driving change. You can see the roster that we've got, that we have is unparalleled. And I think the showcase game today at Goodison against Manchester City, these girls will be absolutely chomping at the bit, because it seems that there's a huge air of confidence across them, and there's a really good blend of players.
Is that confidence coming from the new signings and the calibre of signings?
I think that certainly adds to it, but I think there's a blend. There's players like Simone McGill, who've been there for the last 10 years at the club, who know what it's about. Players who've come through the academy system. You've got players who've been there for 5 years and have seen this change when Willie Kirk's come in, and you've got Willie Kirk's new signings over the last 2 years. So I think the cross-section that they have has really added to that undertone of confidence across the squad.
And do you think that they're going into this campaign thinking that they can challenge and break up that top three?
I've already talked about how important psyche is, how mental side of it is. I do. I truly believe that they think they're going to break into the top three, because last season they'd never beaten Manchester City. They haven't beaten a top three side, any of the big three, as it were. That's what they need to do this season, and that's what they'll be fully focused on.
OK, well, Everton, of course, are taking on Manchester City. Liam McDevitt caught up with their defender, Alex Greenwood.
Oh, Ellen White bangs that in.
With the WSL season upon us, I've come down to the Etihad campus, home of Manchester City, for a masterclass with none other than City and England defender, Alex Greenwood. So Alex, you're one of the league's most rated defenders. I'm going to put you in a few in-game situations, 1v1s, crossing, and of course some free kicks. You up for it?
I'm up for it, let's go.
Probably the most important part for any defender is 1v1 defending. So Alex, I'm driving towards you with the ball here. You said you want to show me the line.
I'll probably stay on line with you, be nice and low. Trying to show you this way. If you come back in this way, I'll probably just try and come back with you.
So it's all about body shape?
Footwork, body shape, yeah.
All right, let's give it a go.
Let's go.
So there, you saw it. You show him line, get tight, makes the cross almost impossible.
Almost, yeah. And then if you have, because you're pretty quick, so if you've knocked it past me...
Pretty quick.
I'm hoping I can get
a leg to it.
Yeah, and obviously if you've chopped me, then I can obviously have enough to come back the other way.
Which player do you not want to be faced up with 1v1?
You know, there's a few. Obviously, Fran's a nightmare, and she pulls out into these little pockets and she picks up the ball. She's a nightmare to play against, but maybe sometimes you just got to take them out.
Fullbacks have become so attacking now. Just how crucial is the final third?
It's the exciting part of the pitch. I suppose when you get to this part, it's all about your decision. Who you're playing with. I mean, Ellen's unbelievable to play with in these areas. You can put the ball anywhere, she just somehow gets on the end of it.
It's good for the assist total.
Yeah, it is.
I'm going to go in the box. I'll try to do my best, Ellen White. How's
No
the
pressure.
delivery? You going to send some in?
I'll give it a go, let's go. Oh, Ellen White bangs that in.
Groundsman's going to be fuming with me. You get a free kick in an area like this. What's going through your head?
Who's taking it first of all, me or Steph?
Is it argument? Is it
argument.
Rock, paper, scissors?
Yeah.
What areas are you looking to hit?
It probably depends on the height of the wall and probably where the goalkeeper sets up. Sometimes I might just give it the eyes and try and go back across the same way. Or if there's a gap, I'll try and get one of our players to stand in the gap and I might put it across the floor.
Right, Alex, enough talking.
Yeah,
Let's see
no
what you got.
pressure.
That's the one.
And we're enjoying right now by Gareth Taylor, Alex Greenwood's manager. Actually, I was speaking with Liam yesterday and he was saying, I embarrassed myself. Alex's delivery was just perfect every single time. When you look at her positioning now, centre-back, is it for those delivery, those pinpoint passes that she can deliver?
I think, she feels really comfortable there. I know she's played predominantly as a left-back in her career and she's still capable of doing that. But especially in the way we play and the way we build from the back, really vital to have a left-footed player at centre-back. And Alex, you know, she gives us that. She gives us that option. She has real quality. I think she's a top-class centre-back, I really do.
Going into this season and looking at your squad, we know you've had some injuries, players left, new players come in. How do you assess this group of players that you have?
Well, it's early. It's early to assess, but I think, you know, we're really happy with the business that we've done. You know, even taking Philippa on deadline day, which was great for us to bring in another player of real quality, a Swedish international. We'll have to be a little bit more patient in terms of waiting for a clearance to come through. But yeah, you know, we've got a wide range. We've got players who've got real experience, and obviously at the other end we've got a young player coming through like Ruby Mace. So yeah, we're really pleased with the players we brought to the club.
With limited time in pre-season with your players, how hard or easy has it been to imprint your philosophy of how you want the girls to play?
Well, that's been there. The nucleus of the squad has been with us for, you know, since the whole of last season. Obviously, the new players need to adapt to that and learn and operate in that manner. But to be fair, we had Bunny and Vicky Lasada for a long period in pre-season, which helped. Hayley and Alana slightly later. So, yeah, I think we're pretty comfortable with it. It's not been an ideal pre-season for us with the Olympics and everything else, but we gave the girls an extended kind of break because they needed it. You know, especially the ones who were at the Olympics. So. Yeah, it's coming thick and fast, the games, but this is effectively like our pre-season, but we understand the importance of the game and wanting to make a good start.
And Gareth, I love how you just mentioned Bunny. So for new people at home just tuning in, Jamaican international, where does the name Bunny come from?
I've no idea. I only know that she's, when she hears Kadisha, it means she's being told off. So she's Bunny.
So she doesn't want Kadisha then. Yeah. Looking at this season, the motivation, you've been so close the last couple of seasons to Chelsea. Is that the motivation coming into this season, that you are there, it's in your hands?
Yeah, of course. I mean, we want to be competing for all of the titles. You know, we took the league to the final day last season, and like you say, we want to go one better. You know, we believe we can achieve that. We realise that maybe some points we gave away early on in the season potentially cost us that opportunity because we were very consistent from December onwards. So, yeah, it's imperative to make a good start, but I do feel that, you know, the likes of Everton, the likes of United, Arsenal are improving a hell of a lot. You know, with the other teams, there's been quite a bit of transfer activity. I think teams are going to take points. That'll always happen from each other. But you know, in a 22-game season, that you have to be really consistent, and one defeat or a couple of defeats could be pretty much paid your title prospects.
Okay, Gareth, we're wishing you the best of luck for today. And just at home, there's nothing new about women's football because just over a century ago, a crowd of more than 53,000 packed into this ground to watch a charity match between Ditker ladies and St Helens ladies. Here's the fascinating story of the sport that was banned.
We've come a long, long way together through the hard times and the good. I have to celebrate you, baby. I have to praise you like I should.
I think it has to be born in you, really, this football. I mean, I've been kicking the ball since I was 5 years of age. You know, I think it'll take a long time before we get a professional league.
The teams get ready for a piece of football history, the first official women's international football match.
I think the more they see, the more interested they'll get.
Women's football has arrived.
There was nothing particularly ladylike about the style of football.
What's the attraction of coaching a women's side as opposed to a bloke's side?
I think mainly because women are keener to play, want to do well, they try hard, they train better than men.
I just can't kind of live with the ideas of girls playing football.
I don't see that you have any rights to claim football to yourself.
England were playing the final of the Women's European Championship. At Luton this afternoon, women's soccer came of age.
If people don't come and watch women's football after today's game, there's something wrong with them.
This eventually is the aspiration. Large packed-out stadia, like when the USA won the World Cup at home in 1999.
It should be on the telly a lot more so other people can actually see it.
It's an historic occasion, the start of a league which will finally give the best female footballers the attention they deserve.
The skill level is very, very good.
A special goal! That's what I've been waiting for! What a header that was from her!
So I get goosebumps watching all that back. The story, the journey to where we are now, Rachel. And it does. That's why you said to me, the opening when you arrived, I'm so excited, the buzz.
So excited and so proud. We've seen that generations before us as footballers have worked tirelessly and without a lot of reward to get to where women's football is on this very moment right now. We know it, we've felt it, we've lived and breathed it for 20 odd years of our careers. But to see where it is now, to see it being seen by everyone across the country, that is the proud moment for me.
And just a quick one on today's game. How do you see that panning out?
Well, Everton need to walk the walk. Simple as that. They've talked the talk, said they want to break into that top three. Got to start chipping points off the likes of Manchester City. City are a bit thin on the ground with regards to numbers. I think this could be Everton's chance.
But do you feel even though City have injuries sometimes, they always seem to deliver?
Yeah, but I'm just trying to ignore that fact because I want Everton to win. No, I'm kidding. But City do find a way to deliver, absolutely, and that's why they've won the WSL and that's why Gareth's in this position.
OK, well, plenty of football coming up for you on the BBC this weekend. Stay on BBC One for Everton v Manchester City live. Gabby is here with that. Kick-off is at 1:30. You can see highlights of all the weekend's WSL games in the Women's Football Show tomorrow on BBC One at 10:30. And later this afternoon on the Red Button and iPlayer, you can watch live coverage of the FA Cup first qualifying round tie between Lichfield and Nuneaton. Well, we're all out of time. Rachel, thank you for joining us. And that is it from us at Football Focus. We have hit our final note. But do stay tuned because Gabby is coming up with Match of the Day straight after us. You have a sound weekend. Goodbye from us.
Chelsea are champions again.